Welcome to Sumaya Tax and Audit 360, a complete product demonstration. In this walkthrough, you will see an end-to-end practice platform for tax, audit, assurance, compliance, billing, and client collaboration. Every piece of work becomes an engagement, every engagement moves through a governed workflow, and every team member sees the right work, the right documents, and the right next action based on role. We begin at the staff login screen. Sumaya Tax and Audit 360 separates internal staff access from the client portal, so firm users sign in here with their role-based credentials. The demo environment includes seated accounts for admin, partner, manager, reviewer, preparer, auditor, and staff roles. Once signed in, the application lands on a role-aware dashboard. That is important because the platform is designed around role-based access control. A preparer, reviewer, manager, partner, or client does not see the same queue, the same actions, or the same level of firm-wide visibility. This is the dashboard, the role-aware starting point for daily operations. At the top, key KPI cards summarize workload and performance for the signed-in user. The status chart breaks engagements down by workflow stage, helping leadership quickly understand how work is distributed across draft, information request, preparation, review, signature, filing, and completion. Next to it, the service line chart shows the mix of work by module or engagement type, especially useful in multi-service firms where individual, business, audit, advisory, and specialty filings coexist. At the bottom, My Queue surfaces items requiring this user's attention, while Upcoming Deadlines gives a practical, date-driven list of work that needs to move. This is not just a reporting page, it is the operational landing page for the day. The Clients area is where the firm manages the businesses, individuals, and organizations it serves. The client list shows name, entity type, state, engagement count, and contact information. New clients can be created directly from here. This is the foundation behind every engagement. Before work begins, the firm establishes who the client is, how they are classified, and how many active engagements they have. For growing practices, having a centralized client register prevents duplicate records and gives partners a single view of the firm's client portfolio. When we open a client record, we see the full client profile along with related legal entities beneath it. This allows the system to model complex client structures rather than forcing everything into a single flat record. For each legal entity, the user can store entity type, EIN, state, fiscal year end, active status, and ownership details. That becomes especially valuable for firms handling multi-entity groups, owners, and entity-based filing obligations. The client detail page ties together contact information, entity hierarchy, and the engagements linked to this relationship. The engagements area is the live operating register for the firm. Each row represents a defined piece of client work, whether that is a Form 1040, a business return, a financial statement audit, a compliance item, or another service line. What matters here is that an engagement is not just a label. It carries the client relationship, the service line, the reporting period, due date, status, team assignments, workflow history, documents, work papers, comments, signatures, and related module data. This creates one consistent operating model across the practice, rather than a disconnected set of tools for task tracking, document storage, client communication, and downstream filing. At the top of the engagement detail page, we immediately see the current status, priority, engagement title, client, service line, period, and due date. There is also a progress bar showing percentage completion, along with role assignments across preparer, reviewer, signer, auditor, manager, and partner, making responsibility very visible. The workflow control strip calculates valid next statuses and presents them as guided actions. A user can move the engagement forward, optionally leaving a comment, and every transition is preserved in workflow history. Below that, the workflow stepper maps the engagement against the firm's operating lifecycle, draft, information request, preparation, review, signature, filed or submitted, completed, or archived. Instead of status being a casual free text field, it behaves like a controlled state machine. In the PBC Requests tab, the firm can create and manage document requests directly against the engagement. Each request includes a title, an optional description, a due date, and a status. The platform also tracks reminder counts, and users can trigger either individual reminders or a bulk reminder action. Operationally, this closes the loop between what the team needs and what the client is expected to supply. Instead of a separate email trail, the document request becomes part of the engagement record. Staff can see at a glance which items are still outstanding, which are overdue, and how many reminders have been sent, all without leaving the engagement context. The AI workspace is where Sumaya Tax Audit 360 differentiates itself from a standard practice tracker. At the top, the screen identifies the AI workforce context, which module we are in, which provider is configured, and whether AI is enabled. In the demo setup, the mock provider produces realistic extractions without requiring external API credentials. The main action is run full AI pipeline, which follows a three-stage pattern: document extraction, data cleaning, and reconciliation. Extraction reads source documents and pulls structured fields. Cleaning normalizes and validates the extracted data. Reconciliation ties document-derived values back to workpaper or return logic. The reconciliation panel presents summary counts for past checks, failed checks, and items needing review. The data cleaning section captures standardization issues, and the document extraction section lets users inspect each extracted payload with field-level detail, creating auditability and reviewer confidence. The client portal has its own login experience, separate from the internal staff workflow. Clients sign in with their portal credentials and see only their own information, not internal firm work. This separation is critical for security and simplicity. The portal interface is intentionally streamlined so clients can focus on what they need to do: review document requests, upload files, and track their status. For the demo environment, the seated portal user signs in with the client portal email and the shared demo password. This dual login architecture, staff on one side, clients on the other, is how modern firms manage collaboration without exposing sensitive internal workflows. After portal login, the client sees only their own document requests. The interface shows the client name, contact name, overdue notices when requests are past due, and a clean list of outstanding document requests. Each request displays the title, description, due date, status, and reminder count. The client can upload a file or mark the request as uploaded. That status then flows back into the engagement side request management and supports checklist auto-receive behavior. Staff do not need to manage document chasing in disconnected email threads. The portal keeps collection tied directly to the engagement record. The Document Center is the firm-wide repository for engagement documents. Users choose a document type before upload, and the system records who uploaded the file, when it was uploaded, and how large it is. A source document is different from a workpaper, a draft return, a signed return, or final support. By capturing document type, uploaded by, file size, and date, the system preserves operational context. The same engagement can hold source documents from the client, internally prepared workpapers, draft outputs, and signed artifacts, giving firms one place to manage the evidence trail. Download and delete controls support retrieval and cleanup as engagements progress through their lifecycle. The Workpapers module provides a dedicated workspace for audit and assurance documentation. For audit work, teams need structured workpaper management tied to engagements. This area centralizes workpaper records so reviewers can locate supporting documentation, track preparation status, and maintain the audit file in one system. Combined with the Engagements Audit tab, which covers trial balance management, materiality calculations, and financial statement tie-out, the platform supports real audit workflows in addition to tax engagements. Teams can upload trial balances, post adjusting journal entries, calculate materiality thresholds, auto-generate tie-out rows, inspect variances, resolve open items, and export results. The Tax Returns module centralizes return records across engagements. At the top, the form catalog shows the available tax form definitions in the system. Each return card displays the tax form, tax year, linked engagement, return status, review level, e-file status, amended and extension flags, acknowledgement number where available, and summary financial fields. There are direct controls for sign-off, diagnostics, editing, and deletion. A user can run diagnostics, a strong control point before e-file submission. This connects preparation data, quality control, workflow sign-off, and filing outcomes in one record. Specialty returns below can represent sales tax, payroll tax, information returns, and excise filings. Opening a tax return reveals the full return detail card. Here we see the tax form and year defining the filing context, the engagement link tying the return back to the delivery workflow, and financial totals including total tax, payments, and refund or amount due. Amended and extension fields support real tax scenarios. Diagnostics identify filing blockers or warnings before submission. At the bottom is the e-file panel, showing whether submission is blocked by diagnostics, presenting a submit action, and if needed, exposing a partner override path. Once submitted, the panel shows the latest e-file status and acknowledgement history. This gives firms one place to manage quality control and filing visibility from preparation through acceptance. The billing module covers fee arrangements, invoices, payments, and WIP conversion. At the top, users can create fee arrangements, record payments, create invoices, or generate invoices from unbilled work in progress. Fee arrangements support different commercial models such as fixed fee, retainer, recurring, or hourly structures, along with billing frequency and retainer balance. Invoices capture client, invoice number, issue date, due date, status, subtotal, tax, total, and notes. The invoice list gives finance teams a clear view of what has been billed, what is outstanding, and what is overdue. One particularly useful workflow is invoicing from unbilled WIP, which links practice activity back to revenue capture. The payments section of billing tracks every payment received against client invoices. Payments capture client, linked invoice if applicable, payment type, amount, payment date, reference number, and receipt information. This creates a complete accounts receivable picture alongside the invoice register. Firms can see which invoices have been paid, which are partially paid, and which remain outstanding. By keeping billing, invoicing, and payment recording in the same platform as engagements and time tracking, Sumaya Tax and Audit 360 links operational work performed to revenue capture, reducing the gap between delivery and monetization that plagues many practices. The compliance module brings together due dates, tax notices, filings, and tax payments. At the top, the upcoming and overdue compliance calendar gives a date-driven summary of what the firm needs to manage across the next 30 days, along with bulk reminder functionality. Below that, the page separates working areas for due dates, tax notices, filings, and tax payments. Due date entries include title, due date, jurisdiction, form type, recurrence, reminder logic, assignment, and completion state. For firms, this is the difference between simply preparing work and actually managing the recurring compliance burden that surrounds that work, deadlines, extensions, estimated payments, and recurring filings all in one calendar view. The tax notices section within compliance stores agency correspondence and authority interactions. The system records notice type, agency, received date, status, summary, claimed amount, and optional response document linkage. When a client receives an IRS notice, a state assessment, or a payroll tax inquiry, the firm can log it here, track response deadlines, and attach supporting documentation. This transforms notice management from scattered email folders into a governed compliance record. Combined with the compliance calendar for proactive deadline tracking, firms gain ongoing visibility into obligations that continue well beyond the return preparation moment. The practice module handles time tracking and operational practice management. Time entries connect staff activity to engagements, supporting both utilization reporting and WIP to invoice conversion. Users can log hours against engagements, review time summaries, and see how billable work accumulates before it is invoiced. This data feeds directly into the reports area for staff utilization, realization rate, and work-in-progress analysis. For firms billing on hourly or hybrid arrangements, accurate time capture inside the same system that manages engagements eliminates the need for a separate time and billing tool and keeps the revenue story aligned with delivery. The integrations area shows how Sumaya Tax Audit 360 connects with external systems and services. Modern firms rely on e-sign providers, document storage, tax software bridges, and communication tools. This module provides a configuration surface for those connections, so the platform can exchange data with the firm's existing technology stack. In the demo environment, mock integrations allow full workflow demonstration without live credentials. The platform area as a whole acts as a module hub, document center, work papers, tax returns, billing, compliance, practice, and integrations, each giving quick access into a specialized operational workspace within the connected suite. The administration layer begins with firm and organization settings. Here firm leadership configures the organizational profile, firm name, address, contact details, branding, and operational defaults that apply across the practice. This is the foundation for engagement letters, invoice headers, portal branding, and system-wide behavior. A well-configured firm profile ensures that every document, letter, and client-facing artifact reflects the firm's identity. The admin section reinforces that the platform is not a one-off workflow prototype, it has an administrative spine suitable for a real firm operating environment. User management is where firms centrally administer staff accounts and role-based access. Users can be created, assigned roles such as admin, partner, manager, reviewer, preparer, auditor, or staff, and managed from a single screen. Role-based access control ensures that each team member sees only the work, actions, and firm-wide visibility appropriate to their position. A preparer does not see partner-level reporting. A reviewer cannot override e-file submissions. This governance model is essential for firms that need clean separation of duties, audit trails, and compliance with professional standards. The master's configuration area provides a configurable catalog behind dropdowns and reference data throughout the platform. Entity types, jurisdictions, form types, document categories, and other reference values are maintained here so the system adapts to how the firm operates. Rather than hard-coding every option, Masters lets administrators extend and customize the data model. This is important in a demo because it shows the product is configurable and governable. Firms can tailor reference data to match their service lines, jurisdictions, and operational vocabulary without developer intervention. The audit log gives firm leadership a system-level history of sensitive changes. Every significant action, user modifications, configuration changes, status transitions, and administrative updates is recorded with the user, timestamp, and details of what changed. If a partner asks who modified a setting, when a user was deactivated, or what configuration was altered, the answer is captured here. Combined with engagement-level workflow history and activity comments, the platform provides auditability at both the operational and administrative layers, a requirement for firms operating under professional standards and regulatory oversight. The feature backlog provides visibility into the product roadmap and planned enhancements. This transparency helps firms understand where the platform is headed and which capabilities are in development. To summarize what we have seen, Sumaya Tax Audit 360 connects the entire engagement lifecycle in one system. It starts with clients and service lines, converts work into governed engagements, structures delivery through the preparation binder, supports document collection and the client portal, adds AI-assisted extraction and reconciliation, handles letters and signatures, captures tax return and audit-specific workflows, manages billing and compliance, and closes with leadership reporting and administration. The result is a unified operating model for tax and audit firms that want stronger workflow control, clearer accountability, better client coordination, and more scalable delivery. That is Sumaya Tax and Audit 360.